Hey gang, this is Mike with my Real Estate Dojo, and today I'm going to reveal a very powerful secret that I have discovered being an entrepreneur. And many times I hear all the time from many people saying that, hey, you need money to make money in America. Again, you need money to make money. And I've heard that from the bankers, I've heard that from teachers, from friends, family members, co-workers, the general public on Facebook, YouTube, etc. And I want to take this time to explain to you guys one way that have used that's going to work for you. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, what business you're in, that you could use, just like the alchemist, okay, that uses nothing and turns it into gold. You're able to use nothing besides your imagination, hard work, discipline, and turn that into gold for yourself, whatever that is. If that's being a top real estate investor, if that's being a book writer, if that's being a best mom or whatever, but it has to do with business, okay? Um, so everybody tells me you need money to make money, and I totally disagree with that. And the secret I'm going to show you right now is going to allow you to start a business. It doesn't matter if you want to start a pizza business, if you want to be a photographer, if you want to start a manufacturing business, whatever it is, you're able to start it with no money by using my alchemy skills. Before I get into it, I want to tell you a little bit about me, okay? I came to America as a refugee. Both of my parents don't speak English. Both of my parents don't have a high school education. Both of them are illiterate, okay? And I'd never had any connections, never had any hookups, don't have any credit, didn't have any credit back then when I started, didn't have any money, and I was able to, after college, instead of getting a job and working for the man and working in the cubicle, making 30, 40 grand a year, I decided just to chase my dreams and become an entrepreneur. And when I did that, I only had $100 living out of my black Jeep. And the way I did that is, to this day, I still haven't borrowed any money from any lender or bank or anything like that. Haven't used any credit cards or anything like that. Okay, I've used alchemy. I've used my imagination. I've used my heart. I've used sacrifice. I used hard work to muster up, to dust storm around like a dust storm, and create force out of nothing and create whatever my dreams have been. I'm going to share with you right now how to do it. Before I go into that, I want to show you the traditional way, okay? So many people, just like yourself or your cousin or whoever you may know, friends, they want to start their own business, and maybe they have a full-time job, but they don't know what to do. And I always tell people, man, if you have a full-time job, that's great. Don't quit your job. Start a part-time business. It's very easy. You don't need any money. But if you don't want to start a part-time business, you want to go in all out, it doesn't matter. My alchemy secret is going to work in your case. So it doesn't matter if you want to start a part-time job or a full-time job. Okay? So the traditional way to go is to start a business in America is that, you will borrow money. Simply put, you may borrow money from your friends and family, or you may have your own money saved up, but it's going to come to a point where you're going to need more money, and the traditional way is they're going to borrow money. So again, you borrow money from your friends and family or your own savings, or you go to a bank or a lender and they borrow money from them, or an investor, like a hard money lender type of deal that they borrow money from. And that's the customary way to do it. That's just the way it's done. It's always been done that way. As a creative real estate investor, as a creative entrepreneur, I always call myself I'm the alchemist, because I didn't go through that path, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you guys, okay? How not to use debt, how not to borrow any money, and just use your imagination and hard work and heart, and just turn your dreams into reality. So the traditional way to do it is, let's say I decide I want to start a movie company. So what I'll do is, maybe I'll make a marketing plan, and then I'll dress up real nice, and I go to the Bank of America or Wells Fargo or whatever, and I will pitch them my idea, and 9 out of 10 times that bank will decline me because I'm new, I don't know what's going on, I don't have any experience, I don't have any systems, so they'll decline me. But that one time they'll say yes and they'll lend money out. Like I have a good friend back in the days, we're a really good friend. He lives in Waco. He started, his dad's restaurant business, which his dad was successful, had it for many years, and he borrowed like $280,000 or 300 or whatever, let's say X, and he started it and it eventually failed. Okay, so the normal way is you make a plan or you don't make a plan, or you go borrow money, then you get the equipment. Then number two thing is once you got the money, then you get the equipment and office space, what I call brick and mortar. Again, I call the phase number two the brick and mortar phase, where you go out there and you find your inventory, you find your vendors, you negotiate your lease, you get your name out there and all that stuff. Okay, and then in the traditional way of starting a business, then the business owner says, okay, oh shit, now I have the bills to pay. I have the electricity, the water, the landlord, the loan servicing. Shit, I gotta start advertising. I gotta get some customers into here because I'm gonna go bankrupt. So the three phases is that A, they go borrow the money. Two, they go into the fucking infrastructure phase. And then three, they start opening the door and start marketing it. But that's a very, very, very risky proposition. Again, that's a very, very, very risky proposition. It's very, very hard to get rich that way. And that's why the success rate is 1 out of 10. Because all of a sudden, you're totally in debt. So being an entrepreneur is not being like the herd, okay? So you're pat yourself back on your back if you want to be an entrepreneur, because you don't want to be like the herd. But if you just follow the traditional system that I just laid out for you, which is borrow the money, start the infrastructure, and then open your door and start marketing, you're basically following the herd of entrepreneurs. And what I'm going to show you is the alchemy, where you don't have to sign up for all that debt, because the probability of you starting out a small business, like most people will do, like you're going to start a daycare, pizza business, restaurant business, salon business, photography, moving company, lawn care, whatever, dude, tire business, you're going to come up with your own shit, whatever, fitness, it doesn't matter. That majority of people that are going to give you advice, they're going to go with the traditional path, which is go borrow the money, set up the mortar, the infrastructure, and then start marketing. Now, right off the bat, you're in debt. Okay, that is the stupidest way to do it. All right, I swear to you guys, this is the stupidest way. But unfortunately, the custom, the normal way of doing it is the way the people advise is this is the way to do it. Okay, now let's talk about this traditional way. Let's say if I want to start a moving company today, it's going to be hard for me to go to banking and borrow money, so I have to go to so many different places. Okay. The other best thing is to do what's called like a franchise, where I buy, for example, at McDonald's, I buy all my sons franchise, for example, and then the lender's going to be more willing to let me borrow the money because they have a proven system, other people have used it, so the lender's more likely to give me the money. But the problem with that is, which is the red flag, is now it's going to cost you a lot more fucking money to start up the capital that you need. Because if I was going to start a moving company, I would just go negotiate the best deals with the trucks vendor. Where if I use, let's say, this franchisee moving company, they're going to tell me which vendor to use, and they've already negotiated, and I'm going to have to pay higher. Right off the bat, I got to pay them money. Right off the bat, I got to do all the dances they want me to, which is going to cost me a lot more money, which means that my likelihood to hitting that fucking ball decreases dramatically, and what happens is my debt goes up significantly, plus now I have more obligations and liabilities because now I got to pay franchise fees. But simply put, the good side of that franchise is that it's going to allow you to get a fucking loan. Okay, so normally what happens is that some people will go the traditional way and just buy a franchise, and like McDonald's, Subway, whatever. Okay, there's some moving companies, everything you want, you could dream, you could get a franchise, and get into fucking debt, then open their doors and start marketing the plan that the franchisees have provided. Other people will go and start their own fucking systems, And that's the way I've done it. I've never wanted to pay a franchisee. I didn't want to listen to them because to me, a franchisee is like having a job. Like they're your boss. They tell you how to do it. You're their bitch. They got you on the leash. If you don't do it, you're fucked. You invested so much money in capital. They take your licenses away, and that's it. Okay. So I never wanted that route. I went in the route of creating my own system. For example, my own moving company, I had my own manuals, how to do marketing, how to do claims, how to do this, how to do that. So I had created my own systems, okay? Which allowed me to become more successful compared to going to a franchisee because I had to borrow all this fucking money. I had to wear the kind of costumes they want me to, pay all the franchise fees, uh, buy from their vendors, basically do what they want, and my profit margin shrinks up. Plus, I have more debt because they want a certain appearance. Where if I went with my own business and creating my own systems, I wouldn't have to do those ideas that the franchisees want me to do. Okay, so that's the traditional way to start a business, which is A, borrow money to get a franchise, or B, borrow money to start it yourself uh, from a lender or from family or friends or your own savings. So that's the traditional way. And the three processes goes from, I'm just simplifying it, guys, okay, is to borrow the money or come up with the capital, which is usually borrowing the money, and then two, to build the infrastructure, the brick and mortar, okay, the equipment, whatever. And then three, open doors and do marketing. So those are the three steps. And I'm here to tell you, if you do that, your chances of fucking success are extremely fucking low. You're, and if you're gonna do one of these two options, you're better off. In my, for me, I was better off creating my own systems because I'm good with creating systems. But if you don't have the ability to create systems and you want to be an entrepreneur, then you're like my dad. He didn't speak English. He didn't have a fucking background. So he bought a pizza place called Mr. Jim. So that's what my dad did because he didn't have the capacity in his mind to create systems to all that stuff. So he's happy with it. So I'm not dissing on franchisees. You can succeed more with a franchisee than if you create your own system, but just know you're gonna have more liability, more fucking debt, and more fucking bosses involved if you go your own way. Okay. Now, the way I went wasn't in the traditional way. Okay. I created my own systems. That's why I say I'm kind of like the option two, where you know you just start your own systems, you just borrow the money, but I didn't borrow the money. And now this is where the second level of the secret comes in, the alchemy secret. I've learned a way not to do step number one, which is fucking borrow the money. Step number two, to get the equipment and the infrastructure, and then step number three is to market. The alchemy, the secret that I want to show to you, and the reason I had to build this up is for you to really understand, is that I've learned how you can start a business in America with nothing, without borrowing the fucking money, without getting the equipment, okay? And I did that myself, and this is how I started. Let me quickly run into it. I was living out of my car in Dallas, and right after college, and parents wanted me to be a chiropractor or be a doctor like my cousins, and so I didn't want to do all that. So I decided to live in my car because they were so negative. They were just telling me I couldn't do shit. I need to get a job. Everybody was negative, so I just didn't want to hear that. So I had to isolate myself. And so my cousin had just started a moving company in Houston, and he called me out there and says, "Hey, you want to come help me?" I said, "Sure." We just started. So I was just a basic mover, and I was doing fucking slave work, dude, for fucking slave work, doing 3 moves a day. We start up like 6:30 in the morning on the job site, so we would have to wake up like 5, work till like 1, 2 in the at night. I mean, it was just slave work. And while when we would come back home, him and his wife would sit out there and watch TV, drink a Corona. I didn't want to do slave work. I just finished college, dude. I knew I was worth more than this shit. So I was sitting in front of a computer and trying to figure something out. And this is the secret I'm going to show you guys. Okay? So after a week or two of slave work and them watching TV and drinking Coronas, I had a great idea that popped in my head, and that's what I'm going to show you, and that's the alchemy. Okay? And and the great idea was actually a parallel of what I used to do in college, which was basically fund myself through college by doing personal trainings, which was the lead generation through online, which now is called SEO. Back in the days, before Google was Google, Yahoo was king, and there was, people didn't know what SEO was, and there was link directories instead of like automatic search robots. So I started coming up with that idea with my cousin. Say, hey man, why don't I start generating leads for you? You have the moving company, and I believe I can do this for you. And he said, I pitched it to him. He said no. I said, dude, I could get leads in every 50 states, dude, and I could blow your company up. Just give me just 10, 15%. Just give me a little something. He said no. He said this was a stupid idea. But I knew this was not a stupid idea because, again, in college and in high school, I used to do personal training, and I created myself a website. I was able to generate leads on it, and I used to go sell these people like a $600 session or $500 session, whatever. And I was like in high school, and these people were like 30 years old, and I used to sell myself to these 30-year-olds and sell a personal training package, 6 sessions, 12 sessions, whatever. And I would ask them for upfront money, and I got the lead all from the internet. So I knew it would work because the fitness industry is like where not that many people want to get fit. That's why 50% of the population is obese. They know the importance of getting fit. They know that they go work out, they're going to feel good, they're going to have better heart, they're going to have lower trim, they're going to have guts like steel, but they don't want to. So it's a very hard fucking business. And I was able to generate leads in this business and close on these leads when I was just fucking a youngster. And on the other hand, the moving industry wasn't like the fitness industry where like, hey, I think I'm gonna get in shape. No, if you live in an apartment, every fucking year you gotta fucking move, and that's in the story, dude. But there was so much demand for moving. Every year there was so much demand, especially in Texas, where people are moving from California for fucking all these expensive states coming to Texas because it's so cheap and houses are so cheap that the moving industry was booming, dude. And we were right in the fucking boom, like 2004, 2005, etc. Where real estate was at the top peak, and there's a lot of people moving, and the industry was hot. And I knew I could generate so much more leads than the fitness, because I was doing it for the fitness. And the idea came to me because I was slave working, okay? And after every fucking night coming home 10, 12 o'clock, they would watch TV and drink Corona. I would fucking get on the computer and try to figure something out. And I came with the sophisticated idea where I could say, hey cousin, I will give you these fucking leads, just give me a couple of bucks for them. And he said, no, it's a shitty idea. You know, but something told me inside of my heart, man, this was a great idea. So the next day or two, I said, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go back to Dallas. Because I didn't want to do moves, dude. I knew I was better than this shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? So what I did is I came to Dallas. I created a website, and it was called Look for Movers. I recently just let go of the domain, but I created a website called lookformovers.com with the number 4. And before I knew it, like in 3 months later, the website started creating leads. And one day I was just driving in Carrollton, Farmers Branch, you know, going to the gym that 24 hours on Trinity Mills in Marsh, and I got a lead. And I was and I looked over, and back in the days, dude, I mean, internet wasn't, people didn't have smartphones, but I had this big old phone that I paid a lot of money for to have data, and I got a text message in the lead. And I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, and somebody wanted to move. I looked to my right, and there was this Mexican dude with a truck in a trailer. And name of his company, I can't remember right top of my head. I just went up to this dude and said, hey man, I got this fucking person that wants to move. Do you want it? And the guy said yes. I said, okay, here's the fucking lead. Here it is for free, dude. Free, nothing. I didn't want anything for it. Let me get your business card. Man, I was a pretty lucky guy, dude, because everything, the moon and the stars lined up for me, because this guy called the customer, he booked that fucking customer and went did that fucking deal. And he made a few $100s out of it. I don't really remember, I didn't keep track of it, but I gave it to him for free, but I had his card. And so the next day or two, I called him up and I said, hey, Juan, I think his name was Juan or something. I said, hey man, what if I give you these fucking leads and you give me some money out of it? And he said, hey man, that's a great idea, Mike. I said, hell yeah. Boom. And so what happened is I started charging him $100. Fucking $100 a month. That's it. And I would give him like so many fucking leads, like 30, 60, depends what month it was, because moving is a seasonal business. But it didn't matter. I was generating shitload of fucking leads, dude. And then that crazy thing was, not only in Dallas Fort Worth, all over America. Just like I've foreseen, and I told my cousin, but he didn't want to go with the idea because it was just me. So before you know it, I got a little smarter. I called like 10 other companies and I charged them all $100 a month. And before I knew it, I had 10 customers paying me $100 a month, and then 20 customers paying me $100 a month. And before you know it, I had the van lines buying leads for me. And this is before, people sold leads, before these platforms where you had like Uber and these type of things, Craigslist. And it was nothing like that. So basically, what I did is, and that's the secret alchemy formula for entrepreneurs I'm going to share with you, is what I did was I was the middleman. I brought the buyers with the sellers, and I put them together, and I just got a piece of the pie, just a little piece of the pie, okay? And let me go further with my story. So eventually, I got a couple of moving companies paying me a month. There's 10, 20 now. I'm making some money, and I'm feeling good. I'm making a couple of grand a month. But I realized that these leads were worth thousands of dollars. And then one day I got the balls to call one of these leads up myself. I didn't know how to give them a quote. I've only worked in a moving company being a fucking mover, helper, not even a driver. I didn't have no paperwork. I didn't have no contracts. I didn't know how to give a quote. I didn't know shit. I didn't even have trucks. I didn't have no dollies. I didn't have no tools. I didn't have no shrink wrap. I didn't have no pads. I didn't have shit, dude. Not a goddamn thing. But I did have fucking gold, which was the fucking leads. So I pick up the fucking lead one day. I don't know, something told me inside my heart, and thank God I took action. I called the fucking lead up and I booked the customer. I didn't know what the fuck. But at this time, as you can imagine, I was a pretty decent sales guy because I've been selling since high school. I've been selling since college. I've been selling. And even though I didn't know what the fuck I was selling, I knew how to build rapport with people, and that's something that I've taught you guys, is that in my previous videos, you don't need to know techniques. If you're just genuine good guy and you really want to add value, business is gonna come to you, man. And that's what I did with the first customer I talked to. And guess what? It was a $1,200 fucking deal, dude. Now imagine, I'm selling leads for $100 a month for unlimited leads. So again, $100 for unlimited leads in 1 month. One day I got enough balls to fucking call customer and lead, and it was a $1,200 move. I was like, oh shit, dude, I just hit fucking gold. I just hit up oil. And so now the problem was that I didn't know how to do moves. I didn't have any workers. I didn't have any trucks. So to make the story short, I just rented the truck and I did the moves. And then before you know it, I had multiple trucks, a crew working for me, and I had $1 million business. And so I told you the whole story. But now I'm going to show you the alchemy of it. And this is where the whole point, the climax, comes in for you. It doesn't matter if you want to be a piece of business. It doesn't matter if you want to be a real estate investor. It doesn't matter if you want to be an author. You want to open a restaurant, a photography, a zoo, a fucking car rental business. None of that shit matters. Okay? Whatever you want to do, I'm going to show you right now how to do it. And you don't need any fucking money. And unlike the traditional way where you have to go borrow money, then set up the infrastructure, and then advertise and open your door. My alchemy is that, for example, if you want to be an investor and you want to buy subject twos where you are able to buy houses with no money down, you just take over the people's payments, but you don't have the paperwork. You don't know what to say over the phone. You don't know what to do when you get to the house. You don't know how to give an estimate. Whatever your story is between your fucking ears, trust me, I have the same fucking stories, okay? Whatever that shit is, what you need to do is one thing: learn how to market. Instead of going like these guys traditionally where they have to borrow the money, set up the infrastructure, and then market, right? I tell you the alchemy, the secret of turning no money into money in America, zero, okay, is to do the marketing, to generate leads. So in the situation with the example with the investor that wants to buy a subject to with no money down, taking over payments, that doesn't have the paperwork, doesn't know what to say, all that good stuff that goes with it, you're worrying too much about zooming in. You need to zoom out. All you have to do is generate leads. If you got 10 motivated sellers calling you a week, all you do is hit up Mike. I'm giving you an example. Don't hit me up, dude. Hit up somebody and say, hey, Jose, hey, Bob. That's an investor that do subject to deals. I got you a lead. Let them eat for free. Give them one deal, two deals, right? Don't be a greedy motherfucker, dude. You gotta work for fucking free, dude. There's nothing for free, but you gotta work for free if you want to get places. And so you give this Bob, the subject to investor, one deal, two deals. Build a relationship with them and say, dude, the next deal, can you teach me how to do this? Can you give me the paperwork? On the next deal, can you give me 10%? I can generate you a lot of leads. And that's how you roll with it, man. That's how you become the alchemy, where you don't need a fucking bank. You don't need a business plan. You don't need a goddamn thing besides your fucking imagination, your fucking heart, and hard fucking work, dude. You live in the best country ever, America, dude. You can make nothing out of something. Again, you can make nothing out of something. And the alchemy, the secret revealed is that all you should do, if you want to be a fucking personal trainer, instead of getting the gym and getting the equipment, no, dude, all you got to do is generate customers that want personal training. Then give those leads to other people if you don't know how to do personal training, and then build a relationship with them, and then have them pay you, and then eventually you learn, and then you can start your own, like I did with my moving company where I started my own business. Or you could just be a lead broker, dude, because you could get really, 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 really rich brokering out deals. That's what Uber does. That's where like all these websites do online. Where I, the name just blanked out, where you get services, you go online, you put in your information, you submit, service providers bid on you. I was doing that before these guys were fucking born, dude. That's how I was able to turn $100 into $1,000,000. Never use a credit card. Never use. How do you fucking think, guys, I did this shit, dude? Because I went to a fucking bank and I fuck no, dude. I hate bankers, dude. I don't believe these motherfuckers. They're trying to just enslave me and enslave you. There's other ways to do it in America, and that's why I'm doing these videos for you guys. There's other ways to do it in America where you don't have to have no fucking money to do it. Now, absolutely, you're not gonna grow exponentially like if you're pumping steroids in your ass. I always relate steroids with debt. You're not gonna grow exponentially unless you take debt, right? But you can still grow, you can still be strong, you can still be fucking healthy without getting in debt, without having a fucking master bank tell you what to do, how to do it, dude. You don't need all that fucking growth, okay, dude? And that's the other problem with entrepreneurship that I've done videos about, is that the society we live in, these big companies like GMC and Ford, they're just like growth, doing the most shit, and it's just like they don't have good quality shit, and that's why they go bankrupt, dude. How can a company that's been around the evolution of fucking cars go bankrupt? See, it's because of growth instead of just owning your shit free and clear, owning your factories free and clear, not having any equipment in debt. That way, so if you're not selling that many cars, it's okay. You don't got no fucking liabilities to pay for, dude. And that's the secret I'm telling you right now. That the traditional way of being an entrepreneur, you're gonna have so much liability, so much fucking debt, that it's gonna be hard for you to make it, dude. That's why the success rate is 9 out of 10. Where if you do it the alchemy way, the way I'm teaching you to do it, okay, you're able to make money with no fucking money, okay? You don't need no factories, you don't need the equipment, you don't need the brick and mortar store, you don't need none of that. There's other motherfuckers out there that have already invested into that. The guys that went the traditional way, guys. The ones that wouldn't borrow the money, that got the fucking business overhead. You just generate leads, you give it to them for free in the beginning, then you figure a way to figure out what your exit plan is. Do you want to learn about the business so you can start your own, or do you just want to broker out the leads so you can figure all that out? But your number one priority is just lead generation, okay? Like if you're an investor, your number one priority is not to learn how, if you want to buy houses with no money down, is your number one priority is not to learn how to fill out the contract. No, dude. Your number one priority is not how to talk to a seller. No, dude. Those are important things that you need to learn. But your number one priority, you're the only thing that's going to give you fucking success is your ability to generate fucking leads. And generate leads for fucking free, dude. The more you're close to the harvest of free leads, the more you're gonna get wealthy, dude. And it's such a crucial tool. I don't care if you want to be a photographer. I don't care if you want to have a piece of place like my dad. I don't care if you want to be a real estate investor like me. I don't care if you want to have a moving company like me. I don't care if you want to be a doctor, dentist. It does not fucking matter. What matters is lead production. If you become a master of lead production, you can go to any business. I will work for free. If you're an attorney out there and you watch my stuff, I will work for your firm for free, dude, because I always want to have my own attorney business. I will work for you for free. I will generate you shitload of fucking business, dude. In some way down the line, you're gonna want to make me a partner in one way or another because I will be such a valuable asset to you. Okay? And I'll work for fucking free. Who does that? Only me. And very small few people that understand the power of working for free. And that's why I tell you, when you generate fucking leads, you should give it away for free so you can build that relationship. So if you want to be the alchemy, you want to make no fucking money with no fucking money. So if again, you don't got no fucking money, great. I got the way how to help you make that money. Okay? You don't need no money, no lender credit. You don't need none of that shit, dude. All you need to learn how to do is learn how to market. If you learn how to market and create leads for free, like through Facebook, through SEO, YouTube videos, there's so many creative ways you could do lead generation today, but it doesn't cost a fucking dime. But it will take a lot of fucking time. It will take a lot of fucking reading. It will take reading forms and learning new skills you don't have. But again, you could learn new skills that doesn't cost anything, especially in today's technology when you have YouTube, you could go to like iTunes University, get on Harvard, get in Stanford, learn anything you want, do programming, business, marketing, whatever the fuck you want, for free. You take your time, you learn fucking skills, and then you generate leads, which is the fuel line for any fucking business, and then you give and then sell your leads to people that already have infrastructure and debt in place. That's it. And from there, you have money coming in, and then from then, you can, if you want to start your own business as the other guys, then you can with that money that just came in. Now you don't have to go to a bank, dude. Okay? Now, let me say the other important thing about lead production is that lead production means that your customers, your future customers, are gonna subsidize or pay for your, or be a lender for you, for your business. So instead of going to a lender and getting the money to buy the office space and the furniture, your customers are gonna pay that money. You're gonna take some of that money, invest it to service them. The rest of it, you gotta invest it in growth. And then slowly and surely, you'll get one truck, and then you get an office, and you get some furniture. It's not gonna be a rapid growth like pumping yourself with some steroids, dude. Okay? Just like debt. It will be a slow process, but I guarantee you, it will be a strong foundation. You will not have a master. No one will tell you what to do. If the economy is down, you don't give a fuck. Your shit is already paid for. Economy is good, great. And now you have total freedom. You don't have no one tell you what to do, how to do it. You don't have a fucking master, somebody on the leash. And your ability for success skyrockets. And the skills you learn, here's the very, very crucial. The skills you learn are not going to be lost. For example, when I learned about the moving business, there were specific skills that related with like how to deal with the claims, how to deal with Texas Department of Transportation, all this stuff, okay? Then when I started my real estate brokerage firm, there was a whole set of different kind of skills I had to learn. But unfortunately, some of these skills will I be able to use in my future life. But majority of those skills from these businesses that I own, I'm not going to be able to take over in some portion of it, okay? 10%, 20%, 80%, I'm not going to be able to carry over to the next business, okay? However, the ideas that I learned when I did marketing, if it was for my personal training business, if it's for that Look for Movers business, if it's for Dr. Move, if it's for my plug-in realty business, whatever, it was always the same, dude. That's why when I see a student, if they're photographers, I could just inject all these ideas of marketing because I'm a marketing king. I got my master's in marketing. Not just your average marketing where you spend thousands of dollars. No, marketing where you spend $0 and you make a shitload of money, or you spend a little amount of money and you make a shitload of money, because I'm the alchemist of marketing. I'm the alchemist entrepreneur. I'm able to just use my imagination because that's what I've been fighting. That's my technique, where if you learn marketing, it doesn't matter if you start a business and you want to be a hairstylist and it goes bankrupt, then you start a piece of business, the marketing skills are still going to carry over 90% of it, 100% of it. Where the ideas that I learned from the moving business, like Dr. Move or my real estate brokerage business, those only 20% carry over to my new venture. So the point of the story is the business alchemy, the way to create money out of thin air. The way to make money without having debt. The way to make money without having money. The way to make money without having credit is your ability to learn how to generate leads. Okay? Generating leads is different than closing sales. You don't have to fucking close deals. Notice in my example that I told you in the moving, when I was driving around, I created a website and I was on Marsh in Carrollton, and I got a text message, I got a lead. I looked over, there was a mover. I went out to him and I give him the lead. I didn't close the fucking lead. I didn't have to learn how to close the lead. I didn't have to, at that specific time, learn how to give prices over the phone, how to say how this shit works. I didn't have to learn all those skills. The only skill I had to learn was basic sales, which I've learned from high school, okay, and I've been using all my life. And then when I had the lead, I just had to pass the ball to this guy and let him run to the end zone because he's the fucking football player in the moving industry, and I was just a fan. I didn't know shit. I was a rookie. And the same thing with you. So if you learn how to generate leads, you don't have to close the leads. You give it to the brick and mortar businesses for them to close it. You give it to that investor that knows how to close the subject to deal, that knows how to do the wholesaling deal. And you give it to them and they'll close the deal for you. So your number one job is learn how to generate leads. Now, some of you'll say, well, Mike, what if I generate leads and these motherfuckers steal it from me? They don't give me any money. Dude, that's just life, dog. That's just risk you gotta take. Some of these motherfuckers that you give them, they're not gonna give you any fucking shit. I know this one guy in Fort Worth, man, when I first got into real estate investing, man, I give this motherfucker so much fucking leads, dude. And I know he closed the deals because I tracked him at the county clerk's office. He made shit on fucking money. And then when I asked him, hey, can you show me how to do this subject to deal? Or can you give me the paperwork? The guy wouldn't even help me, dude. And I give them over fucking 20 fucking deals that he closed, dude. Okay? So there's gonna be people like that. And you're gonna have to learn from that, dude. You're gonna learn that, hey, this motherfucker's shady. So I've given him the first deal and he's shady. He's not really thankful. He's giving me objections why the lead wasn't good. This just negative shit. Move on to the next guy. And move on to the next. So it's not gonna be like the first time you swing the bat, it's gonna be a home run, guys. You're gonna have a lot of failures, dude. So the point is, your only thing is you have to learn how to fucking generate leads and then give it to a guy. He may fuck you, give it to another guy. He may fuck you, give it to another guy. He may fucking take care of you, dude, and you learn from that, dude, and you guys have a good marriage. And it's a win-win situation. Not everyone you're gonna date, you're gonna fucking end up marrying, dude. Same thing that everyone you're gonna give a lead to, they're gonna fucking help you out. And I know this for sure, dude. I've helped out tons of students. People have called me up, dude. They're on the fucking bus. I come out there, I put them in a hotel, I give them food. They fucking do me wrong. Or people call me up and say, man, I don't have a computer, I lost my shit. I go out there and give them a computer. They're not happy. Or I do so many different things for people to above and beyond Call of Duty. That's because that's how I'm configured, dude. I'm configured where I work for free. But just because I work for free doesn't mean that person that's going to appreciate it. So I have to learn to move on to the next person because one person is going to really appreciate that I'm going to have a successful marriage and we're going to blow up, dude. And the same thing's going to happen with you and that brick and mortar investor that you're looking for. So the point of the story is, the alchemy is, it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you want to be a hairstylist, piece of business, car, boxing, whatever you can imagine in the world, any business, you're able to become that business without borrowing money if you learn how to generate leads and then give it to these people and work a deal with them where you get the profit and eventually learn about the business. And that's the secret of business. Alright, guys, if you like these videos, do me a favor, man. I don't sell you guys shit. I don't have no Amazon links to books or products. You know, I don't have shit. I do this for free. Just like the example I give you with the guy with the moving company. I've always worked for free. The first time I worked was in high school. I worked at a car wash business. I told myself I'm never gonna work for anybody else. It fucking sucked. And I'd never do this shit for any fucking money. I work for free. I'm gonna get paid extremely well. It might not be today. It's gonna come down. I'm not even sweating about it because all I care about is changing your life, dude. So do me a favor. Tell your friends and family about me, dude. That's so simple. Hey, like the fucking video, share the fucking video. That's it. Doesn't cost you any fucking things. And I'm gonna give you my secrets, how to make fucking money in America, dude. And I'm only one of the very few people in America that believes in making money without getting into debt. That started with $100, and I'm gonna show you my secrets, dude. Go out there and hustle and bustle. Don't take no for an answer. See you later, gang.